One.
This is Michael LoveJoi here at the LoveZone. We got the illustrious pastor Eric McCoy here, and we just had to take a break because we wanted to get in some water. But burn, baby, burn. I love it. I love it. That's why we call it the LoveZone.
Yes, sir.
Because we're here promoting love.
Yes, sir.
And you cannot have joy if you don't have love.
That's right. That's right.
So, Reverend McCoy, let me ask you this. In the Fellowship of Churches, now, how long has this organization been in?
It's 80 years old. We did a study on it, and it's over 80 years old.
80 years old?
In Atlantic City.
From this area?
From this area. It's
Yes,
called
sir.
Atlantic City Fellowship of Churches.
Do you know the name of the gentleman that started it?
No, we didn't go back there. The oldest member was 99 years old. Thomas B. Whitfield. He just passed away last year.
Okay.
And he was the secretary in 55.
Yes, sir.
And we went back to Reverend Neal and a few other ones, and we kind of archived it back to the place that we said was about 80 years old. And it was basically your Baptist and Methodist churches, the larger churches in the area, was the members of the Fellowship of Churches. And what it was, only pastors could be a part of the Fellowship of Churches, and it gave them a chance to, unite together and fellowship together. And once a year they would have revivals and all, and it gave them a voting block actually, because they had what politicians understood, that every pastor has at least 50 votes. If you have 50 parishioners that listen to you, well, some pastors have more than us and other ones. So
Exactly.
it behooves me to make you my friend during election time, and especially if we have over 65 churches now. So I get a lot of invites. I get a lot of lunches and dinner during election time, because they'll say, if Pastor McCoy is the president of the fellowship, I have the ear of all the pastors. So I can get them in one place so that I can have them to come over, and they can tell them their positions, and we can take that information back to our parishioners. And then Fellowship of Churches have broken it up into 3 areas: social, educational, and political. Now, my political action chairman, he is supposed to tell us what the elected officials are supposed to do. If you're a freeholder, what's your job? I want your job description. If you're a councilman at large, I want to know. Because, see, I'm the only one that will say, I don't know. See, I found out a long time ago, the only dumb question is the one that you don't ask.
That's right.
So, what's an assemblyman do? So you go and tell me, give me a job description. So if I vote for him, he comes to our meetings, he comes to our churches and say, elect me to be freeholder. Okay, what are you doing? What am I electing you for?
Exactly.
I'm a body offender man.
Well, that is a great thing to do, to delve into the information and find out exactly what's the nature of your business, or what the nature of your office. Now, a lot of times people come to pastors or people who work in the barbershops, beautician industries, and say, I want you to vote for me. And you don't know this person from Adam. You don't know who they are. Just the face. But I love that practice of asking to get the information about what it is that you do that impacts my life.
Right.
Now, in reference to politicians coming into the church, there's supposed to be a line drawn that church and state are separate. I'm asking you, from your purview, ground zero, are they separate, or are the lines blurred at this particular time?
Well, it came under Thomas Jefferson's administration when they did establish the separation of church and state. And that was separated before for monies, really. Just so that the monies, you couldn't buy yourself into and influence people to believe the way you believe because of money. Now, thing is, 200 years later, figures the same thing.
Well, you did say something about money earlier.
Because they do. You can buy yourself the best preacher out there.
Yes, sir.
So, separate the lines. And it's hard to say that there is, to make a statement say that there is no line, because they're blurred it so much that certain preachers will go with certain administrations because they're looking to get something for their church.
Right.
And who's ever in power will better and betterment their church. And so, as I started in telling you about being a minister of God, and if I don't love God and love God's people, I have to question my ministry. they have a saying that everybody has a price. I'm so glad that I was trained from the streets. I was delivered. I was truly saved. You
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes,
I got saved because if I wasn't doing this, I'd be dead. I couldn't say I'd be doing something else. Some preachers say if I wasn't doing this, I could have a good job doing that. No, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be dead.
So what you're doing now is actually what saved your life.
Amen.
Amen.
Point blank, so I don't have an alternative.
So, Pastor, let's get ready to wrap this thing up
Yes,
before
sir.
we fade out to black.
Yes,
I want to ask you some names.
yes, sir.
Just want you to give me your spin on what you think about the situation of what's going on. All right, Donald Sterling.
Not our business. He's a millionaire. All of a sudden now, it's a big hoopla. I think we can spend our time on something more as our people.
Yes, sir.
It's this smoke. It's just something to get your mind off of what they really want to say. You don't think he used N-words all the time? You know, he just
Oh,
started
we're
this.
quite sure.
He's a millionaire.
Yeah. A billion. They say it's close to a billion. Close to a billion.
So, what are you going to do to hurt him? What is it? I mean, what's the hoopla about? And I'm so sorry you asked me that because it's not our fight. We shouldn't be losing out 1 ounce of sleep on what he said about it because there's so many other ones that are thinking it and not saying it. That's higher position than him.
As a man thinketh,
So
so is he. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you another question, sir.
Yes, sir.
In reference to the political scene. President Obama.
There again, you know, he's ours. I can identify with him because he looks like me.
Yes, sir.
But you shouldn't know what a person's going to do before they're elected because once they get the job, they're going to say, I got to do what everybody else is doing because I got to protect the integrity of the office in which I'm taking. And, well, he's not about the money because if he was about the money, he could have made a lot more money with the books and the lawyer. He could have made a lot more money.
Yes, sir.
So he's my hero because he's done so much for our race as being articulate and rising to the highest office in the land. And so I'm not political. I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
political. I don't know his politics. I
Yes,
cannot speak on it.
Yes, sir.
But you might find some people that are more versed to say he might have sold out or whatever. Well, he will always be my hero because I can say, look, he was the president.
Yes.
And we can identify with him. Could he have done more? Well, he's only sitting in a chair and letting them do it. I mean, whatever he does has been scrutinized. He can only do is what the rest of the Congress will allow him to do, what the rest of the people do. He rose to the position, but I think he's doing the best he can do under all the pressure that he's under.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One more last person, and we want to talk about our former mayor, Lorenzo Langford.
My friend.
Yes, sir.
He just happens to be my friend and is the man. He's still my friend.
Yes, sir.
And people would think that I would get a lot of the city like city because he's my friend. And I'm kind of glad that they don't have to throw rocks at my friend no more. I'm kind of glad they ain't got to talk about my friend no more. What happened in Atlantic City, we should question, could happen everywhere. The man's still surprised. He's still surprised. He's the man today. I'm getting used to the idea that we have. He is the mayor. He won the election. I'm getting, if you want to use that word, I'll use that word loosely. He won the election. But my friend took it in grace. I was right there at campaign headquarters when the results came in, and he looked, and I looked at the way he reacted, and I said, "Wow, this is not good." And we will see. We will see because if they can do that in a city that was predominantly Democrat and our folk, and they're gonna blame the folks not coming out to vote. I don't think that was it. I think somebody pulled a lever somewhere that we didn't see. They would have done it with Barack, but they couldn't do it because and it just shows how strong we are as a people. And if we did that, economically, we can empower our youth again, and we can start taking control of our inner cities. We can start taking control of our environments. we can start taking turns. I often say the only thing we own is churches, and we don't own them.
Yes, sir.
And so we don't own anything.
Yes, sir.
And we have to start owning something. We have enough power to put a man in the White House. We should have enough power to get us somewhere moving away from the violence that happens because we don't have any money in our neighborhoods.
Yes, sir.
And start empowering ourselves through finances. And that's what comes to your plan. When you get it together, let me know. Minister Farrakhan is talking about the 35 cents. Let
Yes,
me
sir.
know the plan.
Yes, sir.
And listen, let's start looking at the message instead of the messenger. And let's start doing what's smart for our people. Because you'll sit around and talk about our people, but let's help our people.
Absolutely.
Let's
Yes,
help our
sir.
people. And don't
Yes,
get the
sir.
job and then forget about where you came from.
Absolutely. So there you have it. From the pastor himself, president of the Fellowship of Churches here in South Jersey, New Jersey?
In South Jersey, we're
In
violent.
South Jersey. Pastor Eric McCoy, thank you for coming to the
Thank
Love
you,
Zone.
sir.
And thank you for being so impassionate
Yes, sir.
and giving a real representation
Thank you,
of
sir.
what the cloth represents here in Atlantic City. As always, party brothers and sisters, we want to welcome you to come to Old Turnpike, right here, 28 Old Turnpike Road, Pleasantville, New Jersey. Urban Bookstore. Our man here, Mabula Manzi, is a good man, and he has a lot of products and a lot of books for you and your group and your school and your students. So if you don't have nowhere to come, call him here at Old Turnpike Road. Google him up, Urban Bookstore. This is Michael LoveJoi, and we always say in party, if you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't drink. Because the love you save may be your home later.